So, hey, on day three, and I'm already doing it to myself, thinking, what am I doing? Really? Nobody's going to be interested in my life. Um, yeah, really? What can I say? Anyway, I'm going to try and persevere and just see. I made a little clip this morning. I looked back at it and, oh, God, this is nasty. So, I thought now, what should I talk about? When I first started doing drugs, that would be a good place to start. I was 14 when I first started smoking weed. Um, and yeah, I just left Johannesburg with my family to go and live in a small town on the coast. At 14, I was not very happy with that. Leaving my friends and what I knew. Um, yeah, I also was not, or am not, an academic, and I really battled at school. So, hence, to be somebody and to feel like somebody, I started mixing with the naughty kids. Became one of the naughty kids, and they were smoking weed, so I was going to smoke weed too. So it's kind of started there. Um, Made me feel part of, which I have to say, most of my life I never really felt part of. When I lived in Johannesburg, I had good friends, a great little upbringing and child life. Um, yeah, but I always felt a little different. Um, yeah, we can get into that another time. So yeah, when I moved to the small town and I started smoking weed, and then it led to other things, pills, cough tablets. Um, yeah, it was all about being naughty and fitting in, and that was on and off for most of my life. I tried the LSD and the ecstasy. Ecstasy was the big thing when I finished school. When I left school, I didn't finish. I I had modeling as a backup. It's not necessarily a good thing. I was a child model, so it was kind of always there. My older sister was a very successful model. Um, yeah, so I just kind of fell into it, really. Another thing I never really felt part of. Um, Never believing in myself. Always believing that there's somebody better, more beautiful. Yeah, I never really saw myself kick my ass now because if I see pictures of what I looked like then, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. I suppose that's also human nature in a lot of ways. Yeah, so then when I was 19, I went to Europe modeling. And it was a great experience, obviously. I got to travel Europe and meet lots of interesting people. Yeah, I could have done a lot better there, but I was more into the party and the socializing, especially once cocaine and ecstasy came on board because it's made me feel, well, it took away my shyness. Because I've always been very shy. I still am to a certain extent. Um, yeah, so that's kind of where it all started happening. I mean, I had a lot of good times in Europe and I met some awesome people. Yeah, good times and bad times. But I have to say, the fear was always there. That fear of not succeeding. I think maybe I was always trying to live up to my sister because she was very successful. I can't even speak properly. Um, yeah, trying to be my sister. And that's one rule in life: don't ever try and be somebody that you're not, because it's not going to make you happy. That's fucking sure. So yeah, that's where that all started. And then I went with the modeling and all that. I was in Germany a lot, Switzerland, Italy, had a couple of baby trips, which I'm sure will come up as I go along. But I ultimately landed up in Greece, where I met a nightclub owner, as you do, who is now the father of my eldest child. We got married. I got pregnant, then we got married. Um, yeah, I was all of 22 years old. And yeah, when Spiro and I first met, I mean, geez, it was a blast. It was, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I do this to myself all the time. Spontaneous. It's always spontaneous. Close up the bar on a Saturday night and go to the airport and fly to Mykonos and spend 2 days or a week if we felt like it. Or yeah, that sort of vibe, and it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But obviously, once I had a baby, that was not fun for me anymore. Um, I didn't want to do those things. I liked to be with my baby at home. But it was also very tough as a young mom to be living in another country, um, not having the support of my own family. Yeah, but I got through it. Um, I eventually left there when my son was just 4 years old and came back to South Africa. Yeah, interesting days. But I have a beautiful son who is now taking care of me. Still kidding me that. Anywho, yeah, so that's a little bit of that. And I can't really think of anything else to put onto that. I'm sure something will come to me as soon as I press the stop.